Welcome to Cruise News Central with Joseph.
I hope you all had an amazing week this week. A lot has happened in the cruise news over this last week. I have a two-part story about a mystery thief on a legendary cruise line and a victim who is not too happy with how he was treated. But first, I need your help. I've been having some deep thoughts on how to categorize all the big cruise lines, and I can't quite figure out where to put Norwegian. Let's watch the video.
Everyone keeps saying that Carnival Cruise Line is the Walmart of the seas. So that would make Royal Caribbean the Target of the seas, I think. So what would MSC be? Oh, I got it. MSC is the Sam's Club of the seas. They're kind of like the budget-minded, family-friendly store. Oh, I got a good one. Princess Cruises is for sure the Whole Foods of the seas. Fancy and high-priced. Well, I guess that just leaves Norwegian. What are they?
One thing that cruise vacations have over land vacations is that most likely things are going to go smooth. The cruise ship is your hotel and your restaurant no matter where you sail. It takes some of the risk out of traveling, but what we forget sometimes is that we're floating around the ocean and Mother Nature isn't as predictable as we'd like to think. Let's roll the story.
Pots and pans, among other things, were flying around the Crown Princess cruise ship as it encountered rough seas and was jostled back and forth, eventually tipping over way past its comfort zone. Passengers and crew have been sharing their experience on social media with videos of people holding on for dear life and kitchen staff dodging food and utensils flying around the room. 16 people have sustained minor injuries because of the event. A Princess Cruise representative said that strong winds during a course change is what caused the scare and that the crew responded quickly to correct the situation. The ship has remained fully operational and the voyage continued as planned.
This next story really has people talking. I don't want to give away too much right now, but think about going on a long-awaited anniversary cruise, getting to the ship, and never receiving your suitcase. You'd be stuck wearing the same thing for days. And in this case, clothes were just a small part of what the passenger was missing.
Carnival Cruise Line has lost a customer suitcase. But what makes this story a little different is that the suitcase has AirPods inside of it. They have a tracking device in them, and Carnival still says they can't find the bag, even though the tracking clearly shows it's on the ship. After embarking on the Carnival magic to celebrate an anniversary, the unlucky couple only received some of their luggage. The cruise line gave the man $50 a day, a total of $350 for losing his bag, but was told that if he wanted to get reimbursed any more than that, he would have to provide receipts for the items in his bag. More than 20 days has now passed. The AirPods tracking is still showing the bag on the ship. Since the couple has disembarked, passengers aboard the Magic, aware of this story, have also tried to help locate the missing suitcase, but to no avail. Apparently, the bag contains the man's iPad, AirPods, CPAP machine, prescription medication, and the keys to his car. What do you think is going on here? Should Carnival be doing more to help?
After putting this story out as a YouTube short the other day, I've received some pretty strong responses. Here are just a few. Obviously, an employee's stolen his bag for the iPad and iPods. Honestly, that should have been in his backpack or hand luggage and in his possession at all times. Only my opinion, but if Carnival Cruise Line does not care about customers' luggage, then they don't care about their customers. The AirTag is dropped down the toilet or stuck in a small place. The rest of the valuables already left the ship. Who puts their car keys in their luggage? So yeah, a lot of people jump to a lot of conclusions. Many people blame the guy for keeping his electronics and car keys in the checked bag, and several other people were quick to blame the crew of the ship for stealing the bag. Let's find out what really happened in part 2. Here's the story.
I have a dramatic update about the missing suitcase on the Carnival Magic from last week. Cruisers Jason and Tammy Merritt were on a long-awaited anniversary cruise when Jason's suitcase never made it to his room. What made this situation stick out from the crowd was that after he returned home, he was able to track the suitcase because he had AirPods in the bag that have built-in tracking capabilities. Using his phone, he was able to actually see that the AirPods and most likely his suitcase was still aboard the Carnival Magic. Carnival, despite having clear evidence, could still not find the missing suitcase. Well, after more than 20 days, Carnival finally found it. It was stolen by another passenger that was a few doors down from the Merritts on the cruise. The thief was still on the ship because she was taking 3 back-to-back cruises. Apparently, the Carnival crew was shown a picture of the suitcase and told to be on the lookout. A perceptive room attendant spotted it in the thief's room, and the rest is history. The suitcase has been returned to Jason, but he is not thrilled with how Carnival handled the situation. He's claiming that several items are missing from the bag and that Carnival will not give him the passenger's information so he can press charges against her. What do you think? Should Carnival give up the thief's identity so he can take legal action?
An 80s themed cruise on Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas had a tragedy last week. Here's that story. We have an update about the woman who went overboard on Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas just a couple of days ago. We now know her name was Kimberly Birch and that she was the fiancée of Tame Down, the singer from the 1980s band Faster Pussycat. This particular sailing was an 80s themed cruise featuring many classic rock bands of that era. TMZ is reporting that the couple was having an argument that led up to the incident, but it is still unclear how exactly she fell from the ship. The ship immediately turned around and searched for the passenger. Unfortunately, after a thorough search, she was still not found. Eventually, the ship continued on its voyage 1 passenger short. Only about 23% of people that go overboard on a cruise ship survive. Hey, if you liked this episode of Cruise News Central, check out the other one that's on the screen right now. You're probably going to like that one too. And always remember, no matter what destination you choose, no matter what cruise line you choose, adventure awaits.